What is poppin', my guys? It is your boy Ashley, and today we have a very special battle for you. We are playing my very good friend. I said very like 800 times right there. We are playing one of my favorite people to battle in the draft league community. You may know him. Yeah, you may know him as Darude. You may know him as I can't remember what his Twitter handle is. It's something to do with Cardi B, I'm fairly certain. You may know him as the Meme Master, or you may know him as the patron saint of Chef, but I just know him as a friend. I always love playing Darude. He has kicked my ass probably 10 different times since I joined the draft league community, across Wi-Fi, across Showdown, at Tiddlywinks, Tic-Tac-Toe, Checkers, you name it. Darude's got my number. But every game we've been getting closer and closer. So seeing that I have this momentum going for me, that I'm kind of getting his play style into my head a little bit, getting a little bit better at taking him, I decided to throw all that out the window and challenge him to a meme match. So we set a couple of rules for this match. We decided no hazards. We wanted to be able to freely switch between our memes, so hazards were just a no-go, which I'm really glad we agreed to, because he does have toxic spikes, and it also frees us up to not have to use those move slots. Like, it's easier to make a meme set when you're not worried about defog and rapid spin and things like that. So I was really glad that he extended that rule to me, because he definitely benefited from it. I definitely benefited from it a lot more than he did, and then really from that point on, it's just make crazy wild sets. So without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you about some of the sets we have. These are some of my favorite sets we've possibly done. I did work a little bit with my front office, but a lot of these sets I actually came up with on my own. So I'm really excited to be bringing these to you guys. So to start off, we have Silly Sally the Cradilly. This is Expert Belt with Ingrain, Seed Bomb, Rock Slide, and Curse. So as you can see, we do have the Slow King and the Comfy. I will tell you that in general, this battle is more centered around having Trick Room. Like, the ARCANINE has some speed investment, the Celesteela is a little speedy, but the Comfy, the Cradilly, the Gudra, and the Slow King were all meant to function in Trick Room. So this team had that Trick Room angle to it, and this Cradilly is no exception. If you can get up to +2, not only will I be underspeeding everything because of the -2 speed, but I can actually live any like 3 attacks from a Dragonite, I think including a Z move, as long as he's physical, and then fire off a Rock Slide and 2-hit KO it. So even through multi-scale, 2-hit KO it with the Rock Slide, which is awesome. The Seed Bomb is just to hit everything else on his team, really. At +2, the Rock Slide is doing about 60 to Scizor. Unfortunately, it doesn't really have a whole lot to hit that Celebi, but everything else kind of just falls over once this Cradilly gets up to +2. So that's something I'm definitely looking forward to using. Next up, I'm going to skip over that one. I'm going to save that one for last because it's probably one of my favorites. We have next up, we have Goofy Build Slow King. This is Belly Drum, Drain Punch, Trick Room, Ice Punch. So basically, once he gets that Belly Drum up, everything falls over. You can definitely try to stall out the turns of Trick Room, but this is not the Pokemon that I anticipate sweeping. This is the Pokemon that I anticipate coming in, snagging 1 or 2 kills, and just thinning out the herd a little bit for some of my other Pokemon to come through and do damage. Plus, Belly Drum Slow King is awesome. It's got leftovers. Can't go wrong. So, I was looking at my team, and I have a lot of these mons, like, I'm sorry, now I'll go ahead and talk about Gudra first. Slime Season, the Gudra. It's got a Rocky Helmet, because why not? It's got Curse, Fire Punch, Earthquake, and Outrage. So some people would say that this is not a meme set, but I think that it's a meme set because it pairs so well with, or not pairs so well, it's basically I ran the same set twice. Like, it's that and Cradilly. Like, most of the time in draft league prep, if you would, kind of throw the same set on 2 Pokemon, people would just be like, well, okay, but I don't think that's going to work. You're not going to get the opportunity to set up both of those Pokemon. Well, I like the options, so I wasn't sure which one was going to come in and get to start setting up, so I just thought it would be a safer option to bring both of the cursed mons. So with all of these Pokemon, I wanted to get some solid recovery back. I mean, yeah, we do have the Ingrain on the Cradilly, but it just didn't feel like enough, so I threw on Comfy with the Terrain Extender, Grassy Terrain, Dazzling Gleam, Trick Room, and Synthesis. So this is going to be one of my Trick Room setters, as well as setting up Grassy Terrain for that sweet recovery. And with the Terrain Extender, it's gonna, you know, make that last for about 8 turns. So pretty much everything on his team I can take out in one hit if with the proper setup, except for that Dragonite. That Dragonite is something I was really scared of, but it doesn't get the terrain recovery, so that's really nice. This set is definitely more of a utility set. I have Dazzling Gleam on there. Hey, quit. Hey friend. Yeah, sorry, we're watching my fiance's sister's cat, and she does not get along with our cats, so they're yelling and squarbling. Anyway, where was I? I was talking about Comfy. I probably should have put Dazzling. Stop! These cats, man, I can't deal with it. Anyway, probably could have put Draining Kiss on there, but Dazzling Gleam was just, I needed the power for something. Can't remember exactly what it was, but looking here, I can tank pretty much any hit that a lot of these Pokemon want to go for and get off a big Dazzling Gleam in return. So next up, we will talk about Arcanine, Boonlee. So this Arcanine has Wild Charge, Bulldoze, Flare Blitz, and Teleport with Psychinium Z. Because for those of you that don't know, Z Teleport actually raises your health to full. So the idea is to get this Arcanine in, start laying down some heavy damage, and once I get down to the point where, because you know, there's things I can always scare out. I will always scare out that Sizzler. A lot of the times I can probably scare out that Sneasel, and definitely the Celebi as well. Like, it may have Earth Power, but until I really reveal what kind of set I am, or until I reveal what item I am, he really can't afford to stay in with that Celebi, because he doesn't know if he's going to outspeed. I might be Scarf or something like that. So really big on this Arcanine set, because I really do feel very confident about my ability to get off the Z Teleport, which I think is awesome. I think it's so funny, and yeah, hopefully we can pop it during the match. That would be really nice. Finally, the last Pokemon, the one that I am probably the most excited about. If you remember watching my Verlissa Live, where I had the Sleep Talk Explosion round, what's it called? Carbink. We are running Celesteela with Automize. Hold on, I actually just have to go punish this cat. I'm sorry, it will not quit. My cat Ash is just messing with the cabinets and causing a ruckus and a lot of noise. Oh my god, I hate that this fucking cat is here. Sorry, my cat's a fucking dick and won't leave this cat alone. What can you do? Anyway, we'll go back to talking about pretty much my favorite set on here. This is my Celesteela. This has Autonomize, Rest, Sleep Talk, and Explosion. The idea is to come in, set up the Autonomize on something, take the damage, and rest up, and then try to roll Explosion with Sleep Talk. This is a meme match. I'm not clicking Explosion unless I get it on Sleep Talk. That's the only way I'm going to click that move. I thought about just running Rest, Sleep Talk, Explosion, but I wanted the Autonomize on there just to have something to go for to bait stuff in, especially because my item is the Cell Battery, which is, if you guys don't know, I had never heard of this item before until I found it looking through items to give this Celesteela. When hit with an electric type attack, it actually raises your attack by +1. So if I can send in this Celesteela, Autonomize up, rest, or tank an electric type move, rest, and then roll sleep talk, roll Explosion, that would be the greatest thing to happen in my career, and that is the goal. So again, I'm very scared to play Darude in a meme off, because as I said, he is a fantastic meme battler. But we're just, I mean, I literally cannot wait anymore. I might actually release this video on Saturday instead of Sunday, because I really can't wait to show you guys this battle. This has been my favorite battle I've had in the Draft League format, probably yet. Just because it actually turned out to be a really good battle, despite the fact that we were memeing during it. So Ric Flair Drip, also Darude actually nicknamed a lot of his Pokemon after stuff that I say or stuff that I do. So if you guys don't know, I do have the remix of Ric Flair Drip, which was really funny. I know that he likes to run Scarf on Lantern, so I bounced out. I didn't want anything to do with that. This he is just going to fire off the Volt Switch, which actually does crit my Comfy, which kind of sucks. But we do have Synthesis, so it's not really the end of the world. And he is going to go into Snapchat without filter, as this is the dedicated Snapchat counter. You can tell that's how well Darude knows me, is because he knows that my Comfy's name is Snapchat, and he could go ahead and counter with his Tentacruel. So that's really funny. I go into Shock Me, the Celesteela, because obviously I'm trying to take a nice juicy electric type attack, as he is going to set up the Swords Dance with Tentacruel. That is not a move I knew it got, but I know that if it's physical, it's not going to be rocking a hidden power that can do anything to me, and he is just going to get off the rest while I get off the Autonomize. So he doesn't want to take any damage here. He's never seen me meme before, so he doesn't really know my memeing style, and he's just going to go ahead and hard switch out here, because he does not know really what I'm planning on doing. But little does he know I'm actually going to be hitting rest on this turn and starting to try and roll that Sleep Talk, as he goes into Ash in the, and I'm like, that is such a weird name for a Dragonite. I don't get the joke, you know. I don't get why it's called Ash in the, but oh well, I guess we'll see. I am going to hard switch out right here into, I believe, my Comfy. Yeah, because this Comfy can take anything he wants to go for. And he actually reveals that he has Hurricane, meaning that he is Special Dragonite, which I really liked. I thought he would either be Special Dragonite, we do get confused, which sucks, but I thought he'd either be Special Dragonite or possibly Bulky T-Wave Roost or something like that, because that sounds like a very Darude set. But he's going to bounce right back into the Snapchat counter, as I am actually going to take this opportunity to set up the Trick Room and just kind of get things started with this Cradilly. So I know that he's physical, and he might go for the Waterfall again, predicting me to go into Celesteela, and I'm just going to hard switch out right into my Cradilly and get this party started. Here comes Silly Sally the Cradilly. Ah, nice shiny Cradilly. And he's going to use Knockoff. So we do lose the Expert Belt, which really sucks, but oh well. Not too big of a deal anyway. As we're just going to go ahead and set up our first curse in the Trick Room. He is going to send out Benzie, which is my pet name for my fiance, and I name a lot of my Pokemon Benzie. So that's pretty funny, Darude. I give you props on that. I really appreciate that he apparently actually watches my videos and knows all of my Pokemon's nicknames. Because we've played a lot, but we haven't played it as recently as some of these nicknames are. So big love to Darude. So here, I imagine he's probably trying to bluff something, and I am just going to go ahead and throw up another curse. No big deal to me. In my mind, I'm like, oh, I can tank anything this Scizor goes for. I feel like he's probably some weird, like, he probably just picked a bunch of weird physical moves to use for this Scizor, as I am going to go for the Rock Slide here. As he is just going to go, or I think I might actually go for another curse, thinking that he would be defensive. Let's see. No, I used Rock Slide, and we missed. So I was super salty there, because we would have gotten the flinch chance as well as 60% off on this Mega Scizor, as he is going to be able to 2-hit KO us with the Silver Wind. Had we flinched there, we would actually be able to knock out this Scizor here with 2 Rock Slides and still have enough health to take on some other things on his team. But unfortunately, we missed the Rock Slide under the last turn of Trick Room, and Cradilly goes down without doing much of anything at all. So here, I'm not in the game of predicting. It's still very early in the game. I probably should have predicted, but I didn't really want to predict. I didn't want him to go into the Dragonite. I really wanted to click Bulldoze, but again, I didn't want him to go into the Dragonite. I'm just going to go ahead and fire off the Flare Blitz here and do a very nice chunk of change to this Lantern, and I'm going to be damaged by Recoil. So here, I expect him to try to Volt Switch or anything like that, as he just Toxics, and the fact that he outspeeds me tells me that he is in fact Scarf Lantern. So that is not bad at all. I probably could have gone for Flare Blitz on this next turn. It really sucks that he lived that on 1%. Especially because I could have really used knocking that thing out, because now I don't have a reason not to go for an attack, but I'm going to be taking more toxic damage. I have to go here for the Earthquake just in case on the off chance he does want to stay in, but he switches out into Ashen, and that is just going to hurt us a little bit more with toxic. So here I decide to stay in, and he actually goes for cut. So his name is Ash in the Cut, which had me laughing so hard. But more importantly, we're going to get off the greatest Z move I've popped in my draft league career. We're going to pop that Z teleport and get our health all the way back up to full. I like how it doesn't even show the bar going all the way back up to full. It just like, as soon as the thing drops, you see like, oh, it's at full now. So now that I've talked about that, I can go back to telling Darude that was my favorite meme of the whole thing, is him having cut Dragonite and having it Ash in the, like, that's my favorite. He misses the Hurricane here, but the Hurricane would not have done anything anyway, as he is going to reveal here the Electrium Z. So I am really hoping I live this and roll Explosion, because oh my god, that would be amazing. But unfortunately, as you're going to see, he is going to do a huge chunk of damage, like a little bit more than I would have liked. It's going to leave us with 30 HP, and that is going to activate our cell battery though. We were chatting in chat the whole time too. He laughed so hard at that moment, and I am going to get the sleep talk off, and I'm unfortunately going to run rest. Had I gotten autonomized or explosion, we would have been in a really good situation. But here I actually asked him, I'm like, please go for cut, it'll be worth it. Like there's only one attack I have, and I really want to show it off. And he goes, okay. So he goes for cut. We hit sleep talk, and yeah, we go ahead and roll that explosion. So the ticking time bomb actually worked, which is really all I wanted out of this match. I popped my Z teleport, I popped my explosion. Because of multi-scale, that's actually not going to knock him out, which is really unfortunate, but definitely worth it. In my opinion, that was a nice little trade-off. As I'm just going to synthesis up here, knowing that he can't really do a whole lot to me, plus there's the chance the Hurricane can miss. So nice juicy thick recovery. I mean, he goes for the Hurricane. It's going to bring me back down to about 50%, just a little bit under. And he is actually going to switch out, as I believe I go for the Trick Room again. I either Trick Room, or no, I go for the Grassy Terrain here, I'm sorry. So we're going to get that Grassy Terrain up, which is really nice. I like the way Grassy Terrain looks. I think it gives a nice little flair to the battle, since I don't record in Citra. Obviously, shout out to Brendan for recording my match for me this week. I'm going to just bounce right out here into Boonley. I know I can take anything this wants to go for. No, excuse me, that was rude. As he's going to fire off a fat flash cannon and bring me down to 116 HP, so not bad at all. We're going to get that Grassy Terrain recovery. I mean, we do get that toxic damage on us, which really sucks, but what can you do? So he is going to withdraw here, as I believe I go for the Wild Charge, as he switches into his Dragonite, just sacking it off. So not a bad play on his part at all. Fortunately, we do still pick out the KO, as this is our first KO of the match. We are now down, I think, 5-3 at this point, with the only Pokemon remaining being our Arcanine, our Goodra. No, I'm sorry, we have 4 Pokemon left. We have Slowking, Goodra, Arcanine, and Comfey, so not bad. He is actually going to reveal the foul play here with his Sneasel and just absolutely obliterate this Arcanine. So very unfortunate circumstances, but it does give us an absolute free switch into Comfey, aka Snapchat here, because he obviously can't take a Draining Kiss well, if he can at all, and he is going to bounce right out back into his Scizor. I don't see why he wouldn't. It's the freest switch in the world, as we are just going to Trick Room here. So I know this Scizor is special, and that I have a pretty good chance of being able to switch into it. Now, unfortunately, here I do make a mistake. As soon as I clicked on Slowking, I was like, wait, no, I didn't want to go into Slowking. I wanted to go into Goodra, because Goodra can resist everything that this is going to go for on the special side. But unfortunately, I do go into Slowking, and that is going to take over half of my health away, which really sucks, because I'm Belly Drum. But as you can see, we are actually going to be at just over half after the Grassy Terrain and the leftovers. And Darude is actually going to switch and give us the freest of Belly Drums, as you will see here. That is gorgeous. We're going to live on 5%, and we are now at max HP. So we're going to be able to put in a lot of work with this Slow King and actually just steady rack up some nice recovery. Like, now he is going to go right back out into Snapchat without a filter, which we actually don't have a lot for. He is going to tank this Ice Punch very well, considering the fact that we were max attack +4. But we're just going to go right for the Drain Punch next, because it's going to do about the same amount of damage, but it's going to give us some recovery that we desperately need as well, especially now the grassy terrain is gone. So I'm going to hit Drain Punch on this turn as he actually switches out into his Sneasel. So that is not bad at all. I am going to get all of that health back. And here, I really wish that I would have put Aqua Jet on here instead of Trick Room. I was really uncomfortable about having only one Trick Room setter, so I took off Aqua Jet last minute to put Trick Room on here. And as you're going to see, the dimensions are going to return to normal. If we had Aqua Jet here, we would be able to just start spamming Aqua Jet and getting a ton of damage off. But unfortunately, because we don't have it, we're just going to have to sack off the Slow King to the foul play. We are not regenerated this week, unfortunately. So here I just have to go right back out into Snapchat, and I've been playing the prediction game with this Comfy. I have never attacked what's in front of me. So this time I'm actually just going to stay in and Dazzling Gleam on the Comfy. Sorry, I was Dazzling Gleam on the Sneasel to knock it out. Oh, I'm sorry, no. I Trick Roomed because I'm dumb. And here, expecting, I guess him expecting me to switch out would be the play. So I'm just going to hit a Dazzling Gleam. Because if he stays in an Icicle Crashes and I go into Goodra, that's going to absolutely destroy me. But Goodra can handle everything else on his team pretty well. And at this point, it's do or die. I need to take advantage of... Sorry. I need to take advantage of the limited Trick Room turns that I have left. Second thought, Gen 8, Nintendo, Game Freak, please give us a terrain extender for Trick Room. I need 8 turns of Trick Room. It's ridiculous. We have the Damp Rock, we have the Heat Rock, we have all this other stuff for every other style of play. Why can I only have 5 turns of Trick Room? But anyways, you're going to see, even though we are not specially bulky, that does dip, doesn't do anything, as he is going to go hard into the Lantern after I unfortunately reveal the Fire Punch. So he doesn't know what kind of set I am at this point. He is going to go right into Celebi, basically just knowing that I can't. I think I did like 33%, but little did he know he is going to recover here, and I am going to fire off another curse. So he just gave me a free curse right there, which is really nice, especially since we'll now underspeed him in Trick Room, unless Trick Room runs out this turn. Yeah, which it does. Very unfortunate, but that's just the way she goes. So here, I know I can live anything he wants to go for, so I opt to go for another curse. Getting myself to +2/+2, because I need the strength in order to hit KO the Celebi. He won't be able to recover stall me if I get up to +2. Now here I actually make a misplay. He is going to Earth Power again, and I was just looking at how much damage that was doing. I was like, oh, that's nothing. And I'm going to go ahead and Fire Punch. Now see, that almost takes him out. It was a roll, but I could have preserved damage on this Goodra had I just at +1 decided to try and 2-hit KO him instead of going for the one shot at +2. Because as you see, I took one more turn of Earth Power damage than I needed to against that, and he is going to go right out into this Tentacruel. So I am definitely slower, but as you're going to see, he's going to actually attack on the physical side. I don't know, I guess maybe the damage balanced out because I was +2. I took a lot less from that poison jab than I would have, and we are going to smash that Earthquake button and knock out this big old Tentacruel, which is not bad at all, because that thing was a definite threat to my team, or at least to the Goodra. So finally, he is going to go right here into Scizor, and if there is any way we can live whatever attack he wants to go for, we will easily KO him with a Fire Punch. But unfortunately, that's not how it goes, and he's pretty much just going to be able to win here, because a Flash Cannon will take out my Comfy from where it's at, and a Dazzling Gleam is like an 8-hit KO on this thing. It's doing no types of damage, so it is unfortunate that we lost, but great meme off to my man Darude. Definitely go check out his side of the battle, because it will be live commed, which that's probably my most anticipated video to watch um, after this week, because not only do I love Darude and his commentary, but I'm super excited about the fact that I get to watch everything going down as it did live, because we were chatting in between while through text, and a lot of these plays were just so staggeringly funny. Like the Dragonite with Cut, the Time Bomb with Celesteela, the Z Teleport ARCANINE. I loved Swords Dance Physical Tentacruel. I'm not exactly sure what the deal was with the Sneasel or the Celebi, because they were mostly just trying to take out my threats that had gotten set up. And I also loved the fact that Dragonite and Scizor were both special. So again, huge shouts out to Darude. I really hope y'all enjoyed this week. I might be trying to meme with some other people in the near future, because this was a lot more fun than I've been having in this league recently. Not to say that the battles haven't been fun, but I've either choked or had. When I say that I've either choked or had hacks happen, I don't mean that's the only reason I lost. My opponents played good games, and in a lot of the scenarios, I'm not upset that they won. There were a couple that definitely, like, misses mattered, or rolls mattered, or any different stuff like that. But I can confidently say that almost every single opponent I've played this season has played well, and in some form of arguments could definitely deserve every win they've gotten. Now, I do think that I could have a few more wins than I have now. I did miss playing this game a little bit. Even though it was a meme match, I would have liked to win it, but I'm also really happy that it only ended up as a 1-0. And that's really all I have to say, man. If you guys enjoyed the meme battle, please let me know down in the comment section below. Like, comment, subscribe, all the bullshit, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.